Okay, I want to talk about selling boats for people. So when someone comes to you with a boat, an owner, what do you do differently from other brokers in terms of marketing their listing and selling and talking about it and promoting it?
Let's begin with a story I can tell you about Monaco Boat Show 15 years ago. I was at our booth. I was a partner with the company at that time. We had a large booth. A gentleman from London came up to us, slightly intoxicated with his wife.
It happens.
And he was in his 60s then, and he asked me if I was an American, and I said yes. He goes, well, I bought a boat from an American broker, and I got screwed, and I hate yachts, and I want to sell my boat. And it's in Palm Beach. I said, okay, so let's talk. So we talked for a few minutes. Because he was intoxicated, I didn't want to take it too far, so I invited him to dinner, and we had dinner at a restaurant in Monaco. After about 15 minutes, I realized it wasn't the yacht he hated, it was the crew. So we went out to the boat, which was anchored right off where we were, and he had just got it out of the shipyard in Palm Beach after spending $7 million on a quote that was $2 million. Brought it to the Med, we went out to the boat, and I could see it immediately. The crew was horrible. So we proceeded to fire the crew, and we put a new crew on the boat, and they went around the world twice, had the boat for 10 more years. The man was a raging alcoholic and smoked 3 packs a day. After a year, he was not drinking at all. He quit smoking. I would get photography and videos from all over the world where they were scuba diving and snorkeling. So he came back 10 years later. They were in Alaska, and they called me up and said, look, you know, we're 80 now, we're going to sell the boat. But we put the boat into Vancouver for sale and managed to do 2 movies on it, and then we sold it.
Wow.
That is a story that kind of defines what I do. I didn't make any money until I sold the boat 10 years later, but I made sure, and I've gotten 2 referrals from that, and I've sold boats from that. That's really defines it, and this is why I think this family office approach we're doing now. I don't sell any boat. I pick and choose now who I deal with and what I deal with. The process begins when I decide I want to sell it and I want to deal with the client. I go to the boat, I go through the boat, and I think by now you realize I'm brutally honest, and I tell the client what I think. This is what you need to do to put it to the market. I have one right now. It's a gorgeous boat, but it's not in class. It failed the insurance survey. And I said, look, before we do this, you're going to spend $400,000 and get this boat back. And he's doing it. That's the first step. And then when we decide to do it, we give them a commission agreement, a brokerage agreement, and which are traditionally 10% commission. And they freak out because their real estate broker only charges them 2.5%. Why are we getting 10%? Well, we travel around the world to market your boat. Your real estate broker goes next door. And then if it's my listing and I sell the boat, of course I reduce the commission, and I do whatever it takes to make the client happy within reason. Recently I had a client freak out over the commission, and he's a lawyer. Said, okay, I want you to drop your commission to 5%. I said, let me ask you something. Corporate X comes to you and wants you to represent them. Are you going to drop your prices immediately to get their business? He goes, no. So then why am I? So we start at point A and we go from there. And I got to be honest, I'm not aware I've ever had a client that complained at the end of a deal. They think they do, but they don't. So then once we get through that, that's the hardest part of the whole thing. And then we bring in a professional photography crew, and we do photography, which we pay for, which is not ever heard of in this industry because they always make the client pay for it. We pay for the photography. We do videos, drone videos, interior, huge social media. We do all the boat shows, magazines. I'm currently involved in a lot of family office conferences where we market their boats, which to me has been phenomenal. But you know, as you know, I'm at every boat show, every major boat show in the world, I'm there.
And when you're not physically at the boat show, you do a pretty good job online.
I try hard. Actually, the guy filming us right now is going to be taking over my TikTok and my YouTube. I'm 71. I don't know this stuff.
You're killing it.
So he's going to take over that and do it for me, and you do all my social media.
Sure
and
do.
So you know, that's how we market boats. We hopefully get phone calls, and then from there, once the phone rings, it's my job to discuss it with them and decide if it's the right boat for them. You know, making the phone ring is the most difficult part.
Yeah.
Once it rings and I realize it's the right boat, we organize for them to come and see the boat. We try to do whatever we can to make them happy. And if it's not the right boat, I tell them it's not the right boat. You know, when the phone rings, it's usually a qualified buyer. And so we do what we can to make them happy. And if I can't, I refer them to somebody else in the company or tell them to go away.
Great.